Hello my dear students, let us continue with the chapter 4.1 History of English Drama. I am referring to page 131 of the textbook. Let's move on to the point of Elizabethan and Restoration Theatre. In this, the morality plays had direct links with the Elizabethan plays. The Renaissance is known as the period of revival. And if you turn on to page 134, you can see how literature has been divided into different eras or period. And during this period, that is the period of Renaissance, they dealt with the themes of education, moral problems, and secular politics. And they kept aside completely the aspect of religion. Thomas Kidd, Christopher Marlowe, and Shakespeare were the important dramatists of this period. And it was Kidd who had discovered blank verse, and blank verse is meaning it does not include any rhyme scheme. And this was used nicely in Shakespearean plays. Tragedy has been developed by Kidd and Marlowe, and so comedy also developed beyond rustic humor. Then, about the theatre of the 16th century, they say that it was very much different from that of the modern theatre. The reason is, it was open to sky, there was no artificial lighting, and the stage was like a raised platform. Behind there were pillars, and there were no curtains, and there is a main platform, and on three sides it's been surrounded by the audience, and they had galleries also. And in the 17th century, the enclosed theatre, like the theatres we have today, 17th century had those theatres. There was increasing attention to scenic devices. There were no techniques at that time. Then slowly that became that came to be developed. But basically 16th century is known as the Shakespearean era, and during that time, one among his contemporaries is Ben Jonson, who has whose genius was found in purely comedy, and later on there led to the closing of the theatres by the Puritans. Those days there were two sects of church, that is the Protestant churches as well as the Catholic church, and the Protestant church led to the closure of the theatres in 1642. And also at that time there was civil war, so the theatres remained shut between 1642 and 1660. And later on, again the theatres seem to have opened or reopened during the Restoration period, which is from 1660, and the dramatists during that period were Chapman, Thomas Middleton, Webster, Dekker, and Charles II was ruling at that time at the Restoration period of 1660, and the theatres reopened at that time. And during the Restoration period, the drama completely focused on the upper class ethos, upper class attitudes and set of ideas and mannerisms and everything. It lasted beyond the period of first decade of the 18th century. Then comedy in the early 18th century declined into sentimentalism dealing with emotions and feelings. Then later on that came to be known as comedy of manners, and George Etheridge was one of the main person behind it. Other writers or the dramatists during that period were Oliver Goldsmith and Richard Sheridan. Then coming on to modern theatre. The modern theatre with its picture frame stage and actresses taking female parts. Earlier, the male only used to do the female versions or the parts. Now the females started coming up and started doing their part. There was movable scenery and the visual image. There was artificial lighting during the Restoration period, and but then the drama of the 19th century did not work so well as it was in the 16th or the 17th or the 18th century. The theatre was a home and mainly irregular spectacle. It was melodramatic, and most of the drama was full of farce. Farce meaning something important, but it is not dealt with or treated with respect. Okay, and there was a monopoly of two houses. Drama houses were there, Covent Garden and Drury Lane. They used to take up, these were the places where the drama was played. Okay, these two are in London, in the districts of London. And the audience also matters, the taste of the audience. The audience which gathered to the 19th century theatre did not have the intelligence of the Elizabethan audience. So this led to the decline of the 19th century theatres. It did not work so well because it did not relate to life of the time. And during the 19th century, Ibsen was one of the famous dramatists, and he has developed modernist, realist, social and psychological dramas like The Dollhouse, Ghost, and An Enemy of the People. And later on came Bernard Shaw, who also started experimenting on the similar lines. He was quite influenced by his ideas. Then in the 20th century, we have Granville Barker, John Galsworthy, St. John Erwin, who existed at that time. One of its originators was Lady Gregory with Y.B. Yeats and J.M. Synge. Mostly they were of the important dramatists of the Irish revival who used a sense of tragic irony, a violent species of humor, and rich and highly flavored language. Later on, T.S. Eliot experimented with the Greek tragedy in the early 40s of the 20th century, and there were other dramatists, John Osborne, who grew up after the Second World War. Kingsley Amis wrote about frustrated anti-establishment young people. Osborne's look back in anger brought a new vitality to the theatre scene, and you have certain other playwriters of the modern era like the Anton Chekhov, Bertolt Brecht, Eugene O'Neill, Arthur Miller, Tennyson, William Eugene Ionesco, Samuel Beckett, and Harold Pinter. And then finally we come to Indian theatre, where the earliest seeds of the modern drama can be found in Sanskrit drama. In the 1st century AD, Mahabhasya by Patanjali provides a feasible date. So that's the time when 1st AD, that's the time when the Indian drama started taking place. And the major source of evidence is the treatise on theatre, Natya Shastra, which is written by Bharat Muni, and it gives a complete work of dramatology in the ancient world. But the modern drama, these books gives like account of mythological account of the origin of theatre, and the modern Indian drama has influence from all over the world, and it's written in Sanskrit and Urdu traditions. So I hope you must have understood till here. Thank you.